Well, I'm learning now.
And then they put your national insurance on to pay other people's national insurance, which is technically a pyramid scheme. It's actually.
I just know
you could argue that
I said to Jack, I would happily
you
pay
wanna
more
go
money into the NHS because we got on the topic of the NHS, and I said I'll happily pay an extra %. But said I wouldn't really want to pay more tax, but I don't mind paying a separate tax into national insurance. What do you think of that?
So you would just
pay more money into the NHS?
Add more bureaucracy to divide a new tax system to do that, or
would you pay more money into the NHS if we could?
Well, that's a very jarring question, isn't it? Because saying would you pay more money to the NHS is like holding a gun to my head and going, well, why aren't you giving the fucking National Health Service more money? It's like, do we not all contribute already?
Problem is, it doesn't work like that either. If you go, we're
your taxes go fucking left, right, and centre. They never go where you want them.
Yeah, so like you put 1%.
If you could pay more money into the NHS, would you?
Well,
I don't think.
I'm
on top of what you already pay.
Correct.
Well, no, because I'll be paying.
You don't think money's the problem?
I'll be paying.
How much?
I'll be paying a considerable amount of tax on a lot of things.
How much extra?
So per person, Dan, it won't work as a fixed pay because everyone's on a different wage, so it needs to be a percentage. So I say 1%.
What would you
pay?
What would you pay on your 100 grand a year?
That's a fair.
Well done.
You pay grand a year.
Yeah. No, it's a genuine question.
Yeah, no, but
just answer his question.
1%, I said.
So you just pay 1% more in terms of your wages or in your
correct,
tax bracket?
1%, so it's 5% now.
But what would that do? So say we all paid an extra 5%. Okay, they'd have a lot more money, but
it's about where they spend it.
That's the thing. It's like you never. It's like, okay, should we raise taxes on something? Maybe. Okay, maybe that's a good argument. But realistically, it's very hard to track where this stuff's going because is money really the problem in terms of taxes? People get taxed an awful lot.
What do you think, Dad?
Yeah, I would pay an extra 1%, but then there's so many variables to it.
We all would, but then why not pay an extra 20%?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like it's very hard.
No, you can't.
No, it's completely different from 20% and 1%.
Yeah, but where do you stop?
Why not have all my money?
But what I'm saying, where do you draw the line? So you're saying you draw the line at 1%. So why don't you donate the money yourself?
No, but it's
because
like
you can. So why not donate it?
If I have somebody giving me the argument saying they have.
But you want it legally enshrined that you have to donate that money.
Or why not?
No, it'd be nice if everybody did. Obviously, if he put 1% of his money in, it's going to do.
Why doesn't he? Why didn't he just do that? So you
should
force. But what I'm saying is like, so you should force people to pay more money into things when they don't want it.
Alright, so look at it at a different angle.
Why would
be the
people
alternative?
There isn't one.
No,
I'm not saying.
No.
I'm saying what's wrong with the current system.
You're not fixing the issue.
But the issue is the issue not more 3, 2, 1, and we're rolling again. Thank you, welcome. Sorry, Jack. I was just saying, should you essentially force people to pay more money? Because that's what it comes down to, isn't it? I mean, do you feel like the tax system is essentially the government holding a gun to your head and saying you need to pay more money or go to jail?
Well, you don't really have a choice, do you? Like, it's
holding a gun to your head. That's what tax is.
But
I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying you'll go to jail if you don't pay it.
The question is where's the tax going? Because obviously we're paying X amount.
That's an organisational issue.
The fact is that obviously population's increasing, all that sort of crap. So there's more weight on the NHS and public sector anyway.
Facts.
But where's the money going?
And why would the money solve that?
Why would throwing more money at it solve that?
Do you think it would do any damage to it?
No, it wouldn't do any damage to it, but it's not going to aid the problem. It's like throwing people...
Will it not help at all?
Okay, Dan, so you have a problem and you have a leak in the ceiling, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. If I employ 6 people to fix the leak and none of them are qualified to do that, I'm not saying they aren't, I'm just saying you can't throw things at a problem to make it work.
But you're asking a question where you're not actually giving us a solution.
That's what I'm saying.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. My solution is you're wanting to change it, so the burden of proof is on you telling me why it should be changed.
No, we didn't want to change it. You just said... He brought it up.
He brought it up.
No, I'm
we
interested.
didn't say we want to change it, but we were saying we would be
happen.
for that change if they brought it up.
I'll tell you what.
If I would be taxed 1% more, I would have no choice. But why would I want to pay it?
Well, you wouldn't, but you wouldn't have a choice.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
do you not think?
So you're holding a gun
by
Chloe.
Now we're being forced into a high question.
Would it do more damage than good? And I would say it would do more good.
Yes, but having 99% of your wages taken away from you would do more good because the government knows how to spend your wages better than you do.
Yes, but it wouldn't do good.
Why?
It would do good for the government, but it wouldn't do good
for
the people that's trying to
But why is it better for me having to pay that and I don't want to? You've just raised a hypothetical whereby you're going, is it better for the individual or the government? It's not better for me.
But 1% is different to 99%. 1% won't affect the individual that much. 99% will kill
but
most
if it's already 20%.
And it's going to be a stark difference, isn't it, realistically, across the board? You're saying all 1% of money, but you don't know specifics as to what that 1% is actually going to do for anything.
Yeah, of
You
course.
haven't run the
But
numbers
you
on
wouldn't,
why
if you gave
1% would help.
99%, that'd be obviously
I
ridiculous,
gotta
but
admit-
that'd be way more dangerous because you're just
I'm with them on this.
Yeah.
It's 1%
think
difference to 99.
They're donating.
My only
No.
thing is
No,
your
I'm not-
argument is completely like
No.
the extreme now, and you're not.
No,
even
no,
doing-
no, no,
You're
no.
saying I don't want to pay more tax. Nobody wants to pay tax. It's just how it is.
But why
But
should
you're
why
not
should?
even giving a solution.
No.
to
Right,
Yes, I am.
hold
I
on,
don't
hold
want
on.
to pay more tax. That's
Yeah,
my
well, that's
solution.
fine. Neither do I.
I know, but I'm gonna.
But you feel like I should.
No, I'm going to
No,
direct you.
but if they brought in
paying
an extra
1% more
1%
tax
tax,
will
it's
not
good.
help towards the NHS.
Go on
Right,
then,
so
let him have his.
you got the NHS receive 121 billion pounds per year across the country.
Okay.
The
I'll fact check
biggest
It's a lot of
company.
money.
They get about
You
4%
can fact check.
annually every year in an increase, which is higher than interest rates. All right,
Okay,
about the
yeah.
biggest increase with Bojo that they've had in the last 20 years. So that's a huge amount more. Has it improved the NHS yet? Probably not. The problem comes down to where they put that money. You can do a hell of a lot of stuff with 121 billion pounds.
Yeah, but you're
Raising
giving-
that by 1%, right, is not going to make the
Where's the
NHS
figure
not
even
going to
come
make
from?
you
How much money
healthier.
is 1%?
Of
There we
what,
go.
121 billion?
Yeah.
No, but what I
Yeah,
did
what be
was
about just
this.
over 100 million, wouldn't it?
So that's not much money.
Excellent.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah, but
You've
now
got to
you're
get that
talking-
over
You're now
6
talking
No,
about
but
where we
you're-
put this money, which
No,
comes
no,
on to
no,
a
what
debate
my
of who's
point
in
is,
charge
what
of
my
this money,
point is
and then I don't want to get into
1%,
that debate.
1% of 121 billion
Can I
is
just make-
still a
Alright,
microphone.
no.
But what I'm saying is, Jack, is that the point is that is where the money goes that's important. So if you raise everyone else's taxes,
Yeah.
then A, you're going to piss people off. B, it's not necessarily going to make anyone healthier, and it's not necessarily going to improve the services because the money's already there. It's like not enough to make a difference, but also too
Enough to
little.
piss people
No,
off.
I appreciate that, yeah, but where's your argument coming from?
Let-
Now? So have
let
you
me
got
just
any
speak.
experience or family members that actually work?
Yeah,
in
I've
the
got
NHS?
some
So
great
your
experiences.
anecdotal arguments don't hold up statistically.
I'm going to give you some great anecdotal
No, it's not
arguments.
even
as
about
to
that.
what money
mate.
went
It's
in.
about the fact that
It is.
do you have anyone close to you that works in the NHS?
What, like my dad who needs the NHS
Yeah,
to
he-
survive?
Yeah,
Like,
Annie,
weekly.
Annie's
Yeah,
dad,
but-
Yeah,
it
but-
would be.
I'm not,
But what I'm saying is, I like the NHS. I want the NHS,
I'm
Jack,
not
but
saying-
I don't want
I'm
to
not
pay
saying
more
you
tax.
don't,
That's
but
all I'm saying.
the fact
Yeah, but
that,
that wasn't-
your argument is
What was your
giving
question?
more money
again?
won't fix the issue, but you're not even saying what the issue is.
Yeah,
But
but
you-
you,
but you
haven't
haven't
addressed
identified
the
the
question.
issue.
You haven't addressed the
Well,
question.
what is your question?
No, it's Jason.
No, sorry,
Should
let
we
me
raise
let me
this?
what is your question? And I'll answer it for
Alright,
you now.
so
Don't
giving
change your
more
topic.
money won't solve the issue. With
No,
the
give me
NHS.
your question. What's your question?
My
No,
question
no,
is
no,
what
no,
is the
no,
issue
no,
with the
no,
NHS?
no. The original question.
No, that's
Well,
very
well,
more.
but-
More more
The original
specific.
question was that would you pay 1% more
Yeah.
to the
Your
NHS
argument was
if you
that
were forced
wouldn't-
to?
that wouldn't
And my
fix
argument
anything.
was saying that won't fix any
Can I
current
take it back?
problems.
Can I take it back? What's your question?
What won't it fix? What's the problem?
No, that's not a question.
No,
You
but it's
can't-
like your argument is saying
I
giving
haven't got
more
one.
money.
I'm saying I don't want to pay more tax.
Yeah.
What is your
And
point
Harry's
why I
saying-
should?
Wait,
Harry's saying
I'll
give
tell
more
you
money
what I am
won't
going to
solve the
introduce,
issue.
right? Because this is something that I think would improve
Yeah,
the
yeah.
podcast, and I'm on it for the first time, so I'm going to improve it.
Yeah.
So there's going to be a timer on each segment. So
Okay.
there's only 4 minutes left on this segment.
Right, okay, I'm going to give you a great
Fair
anecdote
enough.
for a few great
So you want to
anecdotes
just give me a question?
for what happened, right? Okay, and this is why there's a few things, and this happens throughout the NHS.
It's
One
4
of the
minutes,
biggest-
I've given them too long.
One of the
Is it
biggest
tinny?
problems with the NHS is mistakes by people, human error. That money isn't going to fix
I've got a full
human
one now, I
error.
haven't switched
Human error is one of the biggest killers across the world in
I've got-
hospitals,
actually, that's a good
US
point.
and the UK. Example, the other week, Annie's dad goes into hospital and needs to have a gallstone, his gallbladder removed and he had his gallbladder removed, and then they found a gallstone because they didn't do a thorough check, so they had to go in and do another operation. When he went in to have the operation, they then asked him, told him to have food in the morning. He said no, he's got an operation. They checked, they go, yeah, you've got an operation. Then another nurse comes in, goes, no, don't worry, have your breakfast, you're not having your operation today. Who comes 10 minutes later? The surgeon, going, we're getting you prepped for your surgery. He goes, I've just eaten. Another example, guy ruined his life, alright, that I know. He had
No,
had to have
your
his whole
argument's
stomach.
human error, but
Yes.
that's just
Yes, but that's the
part and
point.
parcel
No,
of
no, no.
being
One of
human.
the biggest problems in the NHS is human error, and I'm saying that money can't solve that. Proper
No.
training and management can, and organisations.
And
can.
so can you not put that money into
Yes,
proper
but you've
training and
already
management?
got
What's
enough
the
money
question?
to solve it.
Good point.
That's my problem.
What's
That's
the
my
question?
point. Is that money could solve money that they've got could
I
solve
didn't
the
even
problems
give
I'll
that
ask
they
you the
have.
question.
You give me
I'll
the
ask the
question.
What was the original
Well, if-
question? So let's go back to the original
There is
question.
no
Oh no,
No,
we'll
let's
do around
actually
the
go
room.
back to the original question,
you
because I think
think-
we've gone off
I'm
topic.
trying. Do you think increasing national insurance tax by 1% will improve the
Right,
NHS.
this is how we're going to do this. Harry's going to have 1 minute, I'm going to have 1 minute, you're going to have 1 minute.
I don't need a minute.
we've
I
got-
No, I
personally.
don't care.
No, it's fine. It's our podcast, Dan. We'll time it.
Exactly.
Harry's raised the next topic.
No. We're
Go-
not
so-
moving
sorry.
on yet. We're not moving on. This is a good
So
topic.
go
We all
again.
want to have our
Sorry,
say.
Jay. Sorry, Jay. Go. Ask me the question.
We're
again.
talking about it. If you want to leave, you can't. Go on.
Go
Hey,
on, ask the question.
Taylor's calling.
Dad,
Oh, shout out Taylor. You alright, mate?
can we just do this topic, bro?
Taylor, sorry.
Taylor, how are we doing, buddy?
Dan, you complained that the topics weren't all over
Dan, Taylor,
the
you're
place.
actually live on the podcast.
Taylor, you're on literally live on a podcast right now.
Tell Taylor I'll text him and say we'll meet in a bit. About 3.
Yeah, so what, are you still about later?
Yeah, we're coming Southall shortly.
Am
What's
I
this
still in
podcast
this?
service?
On a live
Sounds good, sounds
broadcast
good. Okay, I'll
going
see
on the
you,
internet.
see you soon.
So, mate, I'll ring
To
you.
be fair,
I'll ring you in a
That's
bit.
a good topic.
Yeah, no worries.
No, it's a fine topic.
Do you know why? Because there's
Divisive,
never
aren't
going to
they?
be a middle ground. That's why it's a good topic.
Mate,
Sorry.
I'm not going to lie. I'm more than happy to try and find common ground with you guys. But the problem is, everyone's saying you should pay. Would it help? Listen, would it help if more money went to the NHS? Maybe. Why should I be
I
forced
think
to
there's
pay?
elements to
No,
why.
no,
it
why
wouldn't-
does no one
wouldn't.
answer my question?
Yeah.
Say that again.
Why
say
does
that
no
again.
one answer my question? I'm saying, would more money help towards the NHS? Maybe. Why should I be forced to pay it? That's the real question I'm asking. Why should I be forced with a gun against my head saying pay
Well, you
more
haven't
money?
got a gun against your head.
Yes, that's what government. That's what taxation is. If you don't pay it, you go to jail.
That's
That-
true.
That's
Yeah,
taxation.
alright. TV
So
license.
why does no one answer my question? Why should I pay it? Why, if you want to add more or do more for your community, why don't you guys go invest in private charities? Why don't you set up a charity? Why don't you work with a foundation? And why don't you try and solve the problem? Why should I be forced to pay something when I already pay, right?
Do you not think though, as a group of people, we should all just pay that little bit more? We could pay that little
Why
bit
don't
more.
you? Why should I?
He's saying he would.
Because I can't.
No,
pay
he's
you.
not.
No,
Jake,
I can't.
he's not going to set
I'll tell
up
you why.
a direct debit to the NHS
I'll tell
every
you
month.
why.
is he?
I'll tell you
Why
why.
should
It
I?
is. I'll tell you why,
You've
'cause
got
I-
different values when it comes to that sort of
Yeah,
stuff.
I can't.
No, but
pay-
now you're saying you're a better person
Well,
because
no,
you
I'm
want.
not
no,
saying
no,
that.
that's
You're
not at all,
assuming
that's
that
not at
I'm
all.
saying
But
that.
That's
what
not
else
at all.
could that mean? If we have different values,
But that's how
where
you're
are-
we have
taking it
different
to me.
values, that's
That's
it.
your.
But
That's
I'm
it.
saying-
That's it.
But you're not answering my question. Why should I pay more? Tell me a reason.
I'm not telling you to pay.
But that's the
Yeah,
point.
yeah,
Why
we're not.
should I?
Joe's a piece of shit then.
No, but
You can ask
The
that
problem is
question.
you're
You can
asking
ask
a
that
logical-
question.
you're saying
You can-
you
yeah,
should
but
pay
Joe-
more. But why?
But you can ask that question to anything about tax.
Yeah.
But why not answer it?
Because I
That's the
haven't
way
got an
it is
answer
to pay
for
tax.
it.
That's
Yes,
it.
so
I
I'm
haven't
saying
got
I
an
don't want to
answer
pay
for it.
more. Therefore,
Okay.
why
Right.
give me? But the burden of
Okay.
you are aware of
Alright,
this.
well,
Let me
let's
finish.
go.
Let me
Let's
finish.
go.
Let's
We've
just
got a
hope it-
solution.
Let me
Let's
finish.
just hope it
Let me
doesn't
sorry.
happen.
Let me finish.
Pay more.
Let
There
me
you go.
finish. Yeah, you can, but you don't.
Yeah.
You don't pay anything extra, and you can pretend that you want to, but
Because-
you don't. Also, let me finish. The burden of proof in an argument is on the individual who is proposing the statement. It's not for me to provide proof. You're saying you guys should pay more. Tax would be better if it's at 1%. Okay.
I'm not
Why?
saying you should pay more. I'm saying if they introduced it, I wouldn't be against it.
What do the
That's all I'm
what do the
saying.
viewers think?
Okay.
Yeah.
What
That
do
is
the
all I'm
viewers
saying.
think?
That's fair though, is it not?
What's that?
That I'm not saying you should
You
have
wouldn't
to.
have a choice.
but-
You wouldn't have a
yeah,
choice.
I know, but
That's
I
Okay,
would
if
be
the government
against it.
said there's another 20% hike on sales tax, I'd have to pay it.
That's
I
quite
wouldn't want
interesting
it.
though. What do the viewers think? Maybe they'll comment.
Okay, answer this question. Answer this question. Answer this question. If there was another 20% hike on sales tax, right, I would have no choice to pay
Yeah,
that.
you
Why
are-
would I want? But what, that's not an argument. Saying
This
you would
is-
have no choice
yeah,
isn't
this-
an argument.
this-
Give
that
me,
wasn't my question,
yes,
though.
but give me viable reasons why I should. That's the question.
Because you've been forced to.
That's not an argument.
Yeah,
No,
but
that's like
what-
Harry saying more
that-
money won't fix the issue. What's the major issue in the NHS now?
But the burden of proof
Said
is
you
on
in
for
the
you to
No,
tell me
I'm
what
going
it
to
is.
tell you what the major
Okay,
issue
tell me what it is.
Staffing. What does staffing cost? Money.
Okay, so
More money's
why
gonna
don't
cost
you
more
donate
stuff.
more money?
Because his money will not affect. Whereas if you
Why
put
not?
it-
If everyone was like
Mate, 'cause
Jack
he
and
hasn't
everyone
got-
donated,
everyone was like
He
it, but everyone's
but
not
you
like it.
don't. But you don't donate extra.
I'll do it now. I don't give a
Okay,
shit.
do it.
Alright.
Live on
But
air.
isn't that the
you do
government's
it.
role?
Why?
Like,
I'll
to
have
look
to do
after
it.
the people.
If Jack
Because
wants
the
to
You
do
people
it,
know
can't
what?
look
You
after
can't say
themselves.
to me you don't want to do it
I
unless you
disagree.
actually donate something
You
yourself.
what?
Yeah,
I disagree.
Because I'm saying I would
But they
willingly
do,
do it.
sort
But he
of,
hasn't
not
in his
necessarily on a whole.
They do, but then
You've never
what's
done it
the
in your
problem arises when
Your
the
argument's
government
completely
feel that
invalid.
one thing
No,
is
it's not.
better for the
It is.
people?
You've never,
No,
you've
no,
never.
no,
You're
no,
asking
no,
me
no.
a generalised
Yeah.
question saying, why should I do it?
So if a millionaire pays more in tax, right, he pays more than you to the NHS. So, but that's fair.
Keith.
But why are you saying then everyone should pay more? Like why? But why? I just don't get like why I should. Like, surely if I earn more money, I'm paying more anyway. Like, if I have a really good year and make more money, I'm giving more to the NHS than anyone else would anyway.
Well, I said the other day, I got berated for having private healthcare.
Yeah, there we go.
And I was like,
private healthcare, but my dad's not.
why are you berating me? Because I'm going to use private healthcare instead of the NHS, so that's one less person who's using it.
And you're paying for it.
Yeah. So why am I being berated? I actually did get berated for using private healthcare. I was called a snob. I was like, well,
so
I'm
why
literally
should
one
Jay
less
pay?
person.
So hold on as well. If Jay is taking the burden off the NHS and paying for his own healthcare, why should he be forced to pay more for the NHS?
Okay, I think it's a very interesting topic, and we're not going to get to the bottom of it.
No,
Yeah, of
just
course,
answer
you
it.
can.
Yeah.
But
But it was interesting. I'm saying that though, we haven't answered this question.
yeah, why does no one answer it?
I don't
Of course
think you
we
can
haven't.
answer it.
You can never answer his question. Now you always say that.
I
about
can't
Jay's
answer
dad.
it because
You said
Why?
that about
Here's the
don't-
question. Here's the question. Okay, here's the question.
Doesn't
for
he
everyone.
always say?
he shouldn't be forced.
Let me
As soon as I
rephrase
say
it.
we have different values, he assumes I'm taking.
It's not about values. It's not about
That's
values.
it. That is what it is.
But you've questioned my values, so I've questioned yours. If you think everyone should pay more, you should pay more. Secondly, just going back to what Jay said, if Jason is taking the burden off the NHS, okay, right, he's not going on the NHS, he's fronting his own healthcare, right? Why should he be forced to pay more? Tell
Because
me.
he's part of
Technically,
society. If he doesn't want to pay, he can go elsewhere.
No, he goes to jail.
Well, you can go elsewhere if he's.
Everyone pays. If everyone
Yeah,
pays,
but
He doesn't
that's
wanna
like,
pay his
okay. So if
taxes.
okay. So if Jay, but that's what happens. If Jay doesn't pay his taxes, he goes to jail. What I'm saying is, your argument is not you have to do it, so do it. It should be why should we do it? An argument is
Because
based on.
and we've said that because we think it would be beneficial to the.
And
NHS.
I'm saying, if you think it would be beneficial, why aren't you guys donating your own money extra?
And I've told you because my amount of money that I would
So
donate.
you want
which, as
everyone
much as
else
I
to
would
front
love-
your
If I
bill?
was a billionaire, then I would be donating.
Why
to
are
these
you a
sorts of
billionaire?
things. Because I'm
Because
not.
he's not earning enough money.
Okay, why doesn't he want to be a billionaire?
Well, I'd
didn't
love to
say
be.
you
I'd
were
love to be a billionaire.
What I'm saying is, why should someone who's worked?
Can we change this? Because
It just
because
doesn't make
your
sense.
argument and my arguments are totally different, and we're not actually getting anywhere.
Okay, well, answer my question. Why
Well, it's
should?
all answer my question.
Well, what's your
You answer
question?
my question. Why aren't you a billionaire?
Huh?
Why aren't you a
Because I
billionaire?
haven't got the money yet.
Yeah, well, that's my answer.
But what I'm saying, but that's not the question. My point on the billionaire was
Wasn't
people
it?
who are billionaires are going to pay more
Right.
money. So why should they pick up your bills? Because they've worked harder.
They're not
he is right. We've got to switch topic.
You are. They're picking up your bills because you can't afford it, so they afford it for you.
Okay. Can I answer the next question? then?
Someone with more money is picking up your bills, whether you like to hear it or not. Okay, someone's picking up my bill, someone's picking up Harry's bill. Everyone's picking up each
But
other's
we
bill.
are
That's
conscious-
society.
yeah, but-
That's a fair
But
functioning
it's not.
society.
It's not that they're not totally picking up my bill.
They are.
They're
Let
picking
me
up a
put a
percentage.
hypothetical.
Yes,
So,
most of it.
So
Yeah.
hold up.
30%. What was it? How much in the top
And again-
bracket pay for the top sector? Was it 33 and
Oh,
36?
But again, that's about
Extremely high,
values
it's
and
like
more where you
50%
think people
almost.
how they should pay the money and taxes. And
But
it's a
that's
totally
just
different.
a natural fact when it
It's a
comes to
totally different
percentages
debate
and
from the
tax.
question.
Yes, and I'm saying
Yeah, but
why
Joe-
should
Joe,
everyone be
you
forced to pay
have
more as a
got to
blanket
admit-
cost?
You have got
if
to
you're
admit
talking
we've got into a
percentage.
totally different debate now. The question was, would it be beneficial?
No, it's a philosophical, but it comes down to a philosophical
Yeah, it is
debate.
philosophical.
And then you're all going to
That's
have
right,
different
put
views.
it.
It's going to be.
Okay, so
political
what's the
views.
point in talking about it if we're going to have different views? We're always going to have
No,
different
it's
views.
Yes, no, but I mean, we've totally got away from the question now.
No,
No,
the
no,
question
no,
is,
no, no,
why should Jay, if he's... Look, why don't you just answer, and don't say, because he has to be forced to. Give me your opinion. Give me your opinion. Why should Jay, if he's taking the burden off the NHS, right, he's not on it, he's fronting his own healthcare, be forced by the government to pay more to an NHS service he's not using when he's already giving his contribution and share?
The actual answer is he shouldn't really.
No, that's the fucking
But
fact.
on,
that
on,
no
a,
one wants
on,
to
a,
admit.
on a
You
moral
won't say that,
view,
like,
on a
3
moral
minutes
view,
ago.
I'll happily do it.
He goes like this
But
3
it's
minutes ago, he
like-
turns and he goes,
No,
I'm
but
actually
it's
on
just
these
like
guys' side.
you don't want to take any
Yeah, 'cause
responsibility
of-
for other
'cause he's
people.
on our
but the
side
fact
now.
is-
Not on any
the fact
side.
is you can afford to if you're wealthy.
Right.
The sheer amount of wealth these people have, you have no even. It doesn't even reflect. You can't even.
Oh, because I
imagine the
can't
amount of money.
comprehend statistics. Okay.
No, you can't comprehend the sheer amount of wealth somebody has.
So why should everyone be forced to pay more? Shouldn't you just be taxing those people? If you just made an argument going, you can't comprehend how much wealth people have, should you not be taxing those people, not everyone?
Regardless of
It
your
was
argument
about it was
now,
about a
Joe.
1% increase though.
Yes, but that's a blanket cost to everyone. Why are you
And it
look at your
starts
own
at
point?
1%,
You've
doesn't
just said,
Yeah,
oh,
obviously, but that's not the question.
Yeah, but
though.
they also that's what
We're
I'm
talking
leading to.
about
This
a
is
high
where
no,
it's
no,
all
no,
about
no, no,
hypothetical.
And I tell you now,
Bro,
Richard Branson ain't using
bro,
the SNHS.
Jack's just made a good point. Jack's just made a good point. Jack literally just said you cannot comprehend the people with this sheer wealth, right? Great. Why are we taxing everyone and not them? Answer that.
Yeah, let's go on to it.
Well, because we have a
Oh
conservative
no,
government. So
that's
We
right.
still get taxed more.
No, we've been on,
Yeah,
we've been
yeah.
on it 11
Right,
minutes
okay.
now.
you
This
get
brings-
too emotional.
Dan,
with
It's
this shit.
fine. It's
It's
fine.
fine. We rely
Well,
on emotions.
okay.
It's
I got a
philosophical
hypothetical
discussion.
for you. I got so what's the tax bandwidth at the minute? 12.5 grand that you get. All right.
Yes, correct.
It's gone up recently, hasn't it?
Yeah. What if they lowered that to 9.5, so everyone earning between 9.5 and 12.5 would have to pay towards their NHS more, but only them. Would you be up for that?
Say that again.
If people earning
So your
between
tax band
9
at the
and
minute, you
12.5
get
grand.
12.5 grand tax free.
Yeah.
Yeah. Imagine if it was 9.5, so that's 3 grand.
Yeah.
You're basically saying you're going to pay more tax.
So people on lower earnings
Income.
would then have to pay higher tax, like they would have to pay tax from 9.5 and up,
Instead
but
of 12.
between
But what's the
9.5
basis
It's
for-
a good
what's the
point.
basis for tax
they
then?
would only put it towards the NHS
what is it?
instead of putting
No,
it
what is
instead
the
of
tax?
everyone
What's
putting
the
it on.
tax? It's a percentage.
What's the tax? It's the same as normal.
It's a good point. What's
No, but
it?
it's a percentage. So
Yes,
if
but
you're
it's the
earning
same as
9
normal.
grand, you pay
20%.
less.
No, it's 20%, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's a percentage. So it's
Yeah,
scalable
so it's
with how much you
20%.
earn.
Yeah, so it's 20%.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, I said 20%.
No,
For
but I'm saying,
9
what
grand.
I'm saying is you're saying a tax
Yeah,
to people that earn less, more.
Yeah, I'm saying,
But it's
would
a
you be up
percentage.
I knew it
for
was gonna happen,
taxing
that's
people
why I
on
did
lower
it.
No.
wages,
Let everyone speak.
lowering the bandwidth, right? So lowering the bandwidth so that people on the lower end of earners would have to pay, but all that money goes towards the NHS.
I don't
I don't
understand
know.
what you're
I'd
saying.
have to think about that, to be honest.
Go back to that point. I don't understand. Basically, to end where I'm coming from, I don't understand why you wouldn't, like, you've just made a point going, you cannot comprehend the amount of wealth people have and they're hoarding wealth. Fair point. No, fair
You
point.
didn't say they're holding wealth.
No, but they are hoarding wealth. You know, people. Your point is that people hoard wealth and you can't comprehend the scale of the wealth. I get that. I agree with you. There's a lot of wealth that's been hoarded or whatnot that isn't being utilised. Okay, so why should, this is just a quick question, why should everyone be forced to 1% and you not target people with the more money where it would be more beneficial and you get more for it?
Because then it's an attack on a certain set
Oh,
of
but it's
people.
an attack on me at the moment because I'm paying 1% extra.
No, but
No,
it's,
everyone's paying 1% extra,
everyone.
not
It's
just you.
Everyone.
So you don't believe in tax brackets then? Should we have a blanket 50% for everyone at
That's
the
not
top
what
and the
we're
bottom?
talking about.
Yes, it is.
That's
It's
a
a
to-
poll
that's
tax
a to-
argument.
That's a totally different subject, though. 'cause
You
then-
can't.
Yeah, but it does
It's a
all the same,
it
doesn't
ties in philosophically.
Yeah, but that wasn't the question though, because we are talking a hypothetical. We are talking massively hypothetically.
So stay on them.
yeah.
And I've just asked
Yeah, but
you.
I have. You've gone off it. I've said
No,
it's a
no,
1%
it does flex
increase.
into
It's
other things.
no, I'm not though.
Yeah,
You are.
No, I'm not saying you are. I'm saying it's
because
fine
you
that
are.
it does.
The question was, is it if a 1% tax increase for everybody in the UK?
Yes.
Is it beneficial to the NHS?
Yes.
My answer is yes.
So it's a 50% one, but I don't want to pay 1%.
Yeah,
And if
that's
you want to
fine.
pay,
Your argument's
That's
completely
fine.
valid.
You-
So
Why?
why should I
So
pay
you
tax?
should actually answer the question.
No,
You,
I already
so you
pay
think
enough.
no.
No, but that's what
okay.
he's saying.
Okay, so you think no.
so why are you forcing me to pay
you-
more? Where's
Why-
your
wait,
premise?
wait,
Why
wait,
do you,
wait, wait,
why
wait,
do
but
you
why
feel
would
the
it?
question?
Why would it?
Why
Why
do you
would it?
feel
Jason,
entitled? Why
imagine
did you
it
answer
this,
that?
Imagine it this, right? Imagine this. Jason's the government, and he said, we're having a 1% tax increase. Do
Yeah.
you think it's beneficial?
That'd be good, wouldn't
We've gone yes, you've gone no.
Boring.
Yes.
Yeah.
So let's talk about why.
Yeah. And you've talked about why. You've brought into loads of different
He said the
arguments. and
reason
I'm
why
sure-
is it's beneficial for the NHS.
You're not answering the question.
You guys have not said why it would benefit anything.
No, but you're not saying why it wouldn't either.
No,
No, I am.
I'm
No, I am.
I
question.
said
You're saying it would
staffing.
benefit the
Money
question.
equals more staff.
Yeah.
That's what
Okay,
I
you're
said.
saying
So
it
you're
does.
throwing staff
Yeah,
and a problem will solve.
Yes, my
Okay.
mum
It
works
wouldn't solve-
ridiculous hours
it
to
would
staff.
help.
She's
So-
understaffed
it would
on a
help.
ward.
Right,
That's
okay,
it.
so-
Fact.
Okay,
That's
so
it.
your
What
mum's
would you
understaffed
say?
on ward. So
Where?
why should I pay for your mum? Why should I pay more towards your mum?
Why should you pay more? You're not paying more for my mum.
No, I am. If I get taxed 1%, no.
You're paying to put
Yeah.
somebody else on the ward
So
to
you're
help.
putting less
to
pressure
help-
on her.
Yeah.
So, but
So
I'm not
she's
gonna
less
lie.
I think
likely-
it's fair.
So she's less likely to make mistakes.
It's her choice.
Hold up. But
It's
the
not.
problem still isn't
If you don't
money.
have staff,
Hold on.
Jack, the
It's
problem
your
still
mum's
isn't
choice to
money.
work in the
you don't
NHS.
have staff.
It's your mum's choice.
Yeah, but hold up.
No buts. It's her choice.
Mate, your argument's
Guys.
completely.
No, it's
The
not.
problem
Is it her
still
choice? Is it
isn't
your mum's
money.
She
choice?
has to work. She needs money. Shop.
Why does she work in the NHS?
Because what else is she
wants
gonna
to
do?
She wants to work. She wants to help.
Yeah, she wants to help.
So why should I pay more for her to do what she
You're
wants
not
to
paying
do?
more for her. You're supporting her.
Because it's
Help her
helping you
That's
out
the
and helping
fucking
your
argument.
family out.
Why? Why if I'm on private healthcare?
What?
What if I'm on private healthcare?
Are you?
Yes,
We have
I am,
different
yeah.
values.
What, your
That's
whole
it.
family?
Regardless.
No, he
And
is.
now
No,
I'm
no,
stating
no,
I'm
no,
a
you
horrible
are.
person, but
But-
no, I'm not.
Guys,
No, it doesn't make sense.
Staffing isn't even a finance issue. This is a training issue. You haven't got the people in the training. You haven't got the right people.
There's
And I know
loads
that.
of
but I know
people.
that. I know that because they import nurses and they import technicians from all over Europe, and they pay for them. And then they pay for them, and they're not exactly very good because they don't speak the same language, so they find it difficult in this scenario. The problem isn't money. The problem is that they can't afford the staff. The problem is that you don't have good staff.
I think money
trained
is a
up
problem,
here.
but I think
That's
there's a
not
lot
money.
of other problems, mate. Which is why we're never
Okay.
going to solve it.